Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be in time and space. I'm so sorry, but it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I have been crashing every time I have been loading in. And so far, this is the first time I'm able to get in without crashing. And now I'm going to kind of race to catch up. Oh, please don't crash. It's been horrible. Every time I load in, it's been crashing. Even Mojo Rising's having a rough start today. Let me turn on the audio for the official Twitch.
My way to decide, if you don't know which one's best, look which one has the longest queue, and that's probably the one that's the best. People are waiting for a reason. Your friend is very into food.
So yeah, I didn't know if I was going to live stream or not. If it wasn't going to kick in and work, just going to trash today. But
hold on to that thought, Allison. As soon as I finish this land, I'm going to show you something from when I was in Seattle last year.
Hey, Joey.
Oh, just got overtaken by a airliner there, or an F-35 stealthily disguised as an.
Gosh, I should have been in an F-35 today.
Contact Taipei Center on 133.1.
Gonna be a little tough catching up to everybody, but we'll do. I can slew.
For the right, the two parallel runways here. First touch and go.
King Victor Foxtrot Zoom 714.
Hey, look, it's China.
Transmission.
Yeah, I've got a fun photo to show you on that topic of Boba Fett. Allison, just as soon as I finish this landing, I'll bring that up.
The right runway is closed.
King Victor Foxtrot Zoom 714.
Well, I got a lot of traffic
Please acknowledge.
ahead of me. I'm
Heading
afraid.
for it, so yeah.
We're full sending this.
What no one sees doesn't hurt us or get us into trouble.
No one reads NOTAMs anyways, right? That's actually,
King Victor
truthfully,
Foxtrot
that is a
Zoom
genuine problem.
714.
There were
Please acknowledge.
something that the aviation industry is grappling with. There are so many NOTAMs that pilots are being overwhelmed with information, a lot of which is not necessarily relevant. And so they're sort of tuning them out, a lot of them, which they shouldn't, but it's human nature, and they do. Because there's too much information, and so they're talking about maybe
King Victor
revising their
Foxtrot
processes.
Zoom 714. IFR flight plan is cancelled. Radar service
essential
terminated. Squawk
safety
7000. Maintain VFR. Frequency change approved.
Oh yeah, look,
Good
there
day.
is a yellow X on this runway. Well, we're committed now. I mean, we could go around if we wanted to, but do it anyway. Full send.
Sliding over to the left runway.
All right, full power for takeoff. That was a real soft landing. Practicing my soft field approach technique there. All right, let's cut over to Allison's POV.
Oh god, no, it's great. Yeah.
I mean, yes, it is important to read NOTAMs, but the problem is there's so many of them that people aren't reading them, so they're being overwhelmed.
All right.
All right, just before Allison touches down, I'll show you that photo I was mentioning earlier. This is when I was in Seattle last year. I saw this and couldn't resist taking a photo. The Seattle Boba Fest.
Oh, that's so cool.
Look at that. Of course, their logo looks, legally distinct so they don't get sued by Disney, but an obvious reference to Boba Fett.
I've got a bit of a weird crosswind, don't know why.
This is the way, says New Spawns.
That was a really quite strong crosswind.
All right. Okay, good.
Now I have to put rudder in to try and keep it straight. And then failed.
Hey, Farmer Tech.
Just as I got close, I realised I think 530 left. Trying to keep the nose into the wind.
Whoa, yeah.
I've got it back on track again, but it's just like...
So that was your first ever landing in that aircraft, Alice.
Yes, on street.
Yeah.
It's cool, yeah.
Devon Drake says the helmets on the Seattle Boba Fest logo says looks more like Juggernaut from X-Men. Yes, it has to be legally distinct from the Boba Fett character, or else they would get sued by the Walt Disney Company, which no one wants that. But still, I thought that was a pretty clever name for a bubble tea festival,
Yeah.
the Boba Fest. So if you look at like a satellite view of the island of Taiwan, it's kind of like divided, almost sliced in half, top to bottom. The
Yes.
western side of Taiwan is very urban, and that's the side we're flying along today. So it's almost like one big city, from Taipei in the north all the way down to Kaohsiung in the south. We're not going to see a lot of like sparsely populated areas. We're going to see like major development pretty much all along the entire flight path today. But the eastern side of the island is sort of more mountainous, rainforest, much more, rural, pastoral. So it's a tale of two different halves of the island.
It's like a backbone down the middle of the island, isn't it?
Yeah, with the mountain range.
Hello, Muttley.
There's a very nice train line going around the island. There is indeed. We go back to my point of view for a second
Yes.
here. Just off on the horizon, you can kind of see that backbone that Ali was alluding to. Just in the distance, you can see that mountain range. And that's sort of like the division between the two halves of the island. And that runs pretty much the entire length, all the way north to south. Steep mountains, yeah. Very, very beautiful terrain, too. If you enjoy hiking or camping, there's some great spots to do that there. Or if you're more of a city person and you ever visit Taiwan, Taipei is a great city. Kaohsiung was also really fun when I was there. Some delicious food, and as I mentioned, by far some of the most...
Yeah, I was having it kept crashing. Every time I loaded into the sim
showcase their home
and loaded the flight plan,
I've ever encountered.
it was crashing on me. So I didn't know if I was gonna live stream or not. I'm like, if I can't get in, yeah, just... Anyway, finally loaded, and
beyond the mountain range over there in Hualien, which is kind of like a more touristy nature kind of hiking, camping area. And at the end of the day,
yeah, it's a lovely highway down there. I've been playing SimCity lately, and now I look at a bunch of clover leaves.
and at his own expense, bought me various different local Taiwanese specialties just because he wanted me to try them before I left.
Yeah, street food in Asia is incredible.
Yeah.
And you're listening to the official hosts on
One of
the official Microsoft
dishes was the Taiwanese oyster omelets.
fly in on the Twitch channel. I'm sorry I don't have their video up today. I'm just running the audio at the moment. Again, had too many things to deal with at the start.
Oh, you're doing 99.
But at least we can hear him.
I've got, yeah, I'm 132 knots true, 126 indicated, so I got a bit of a tailwind, it looks like.
Yeah,
Got any stinky fruits there? No, I've not had, I didn't, like, I obviously that's a
The
reference
durian fruit. Yuck.
durian when I was in Singapore. No, I did not have durian or any other stinky fruits, but I did have stinky tofu. Another classic Taiwanese specialty.
Oh, you're more adventurous than me. I couldn't quite take. I couldn't take the stinky tofu, and I have tried durian.
You've tried durian as well, Alison.
I have, yeah.
Ugh.
The only thing, the only sort of food I can't ever take. I couldn't eat just surströmming and sweet. I just can't do it.
I'm with you on that. In my case, it's similar. I know it's slightly different, but similar idea. It was lutefisk when I was in Norway.
That you've had lutefisk.
Well, no, I didn't try it.
You didn't try it.
I saw it, I smelled it, and I was like, no, can't do it. Or balut from the Philippines.
Yeah.
I don't know if you don't know what balut is. You can look that up online for yourself. I will not spoil the surprise. B-A-L-U-T. Just look that up online. You're familiar, Allison, right?
Yeah.
All right, 64 miles to go to our second time.
Oh, anyway, aside, happy Friday. Hope everybody's having a great day.
I can speed up just
I hope you're all going to have a great weekend.
68.
I've got a nice looking flying circus behind me as well. I got a Spruce Goose. Got the Draco X, PC6.
Oh, it's so slow. Everyone's over.
I have been, I was in China mostly last week, and I'm going to be back in China again after we finish up Korea in the career stuff that I'm doing. Currently making my way south down Korea.
But yeah, take a look at all these cool looking planes all around me, above me there.
So probably another 2 days in Korea. I want to do Jeju Island and fly around that for a bit, and then we'll be back over in
Thailand.
probably the career will take us back over to China. I don't really know. I'm just kind of playing it by ear.
Here we go, Spruce Goose right ahead to my 12 o'clock.
But the career has managed to take me all the way from Colorado to the West Coast, all the way up into Canada, all the way up into Alaska, all the way over to Russia, down into China, and now we're in Korea. You can go far doing the career stuff. Yeah. Oh, any, did you end up getting your video uploaded yet, Farmer?
Entertainment. I still don't understand the comment. I don't know what you're
Are you editing it, or just haven't had the time?
Lutefisk in Alaska, where there are a lot of Norwegians. Yeah, what did you think, Mayor de Zur? Did you try it? Did you eat it? Or did the smell turn you off?
Chuli Julian Ninian von Romulus, what happened to that 5 flight? What 5? The Indian flight? Are you talking about this, or are you talking about in the real world?
Has anyone tried Hakal?
I have no.
Can I redo what? I'm lost.
Mailmore says we have it every year for Christmas.
I'm sorry, I'm lost. But while you're here, let me go to your channel and subscribe. Patchouli Julian.
Yeah. There are
Go to
a
channel.
small number of things.
Patchouli Julian Ninian
Just
Von Romulus.
turned me off. I was like, no, you know, I'm okay not trying that.
I am now subscribed. Looking at your stuff here. Iron Front, 1944 vanilla server.
Fine on my end.
Elite Force mod, Iron Front, SWAT 4,
Up on my
Kingdom Come, Deliverance. I loved Kingdom Come. Goodbye to Nichelle Nichols, Deliverance.
Brains mine. Oh,
Wow, you do lots of games. Space Engineers. Oh boy, you do all kinds of gaming. I love it. Great to see all the stuff on your site there.
but it's coming out of my PC fine. It's under the 3,000 kilobits a second. Oh, just the
The India flight. At the moment, I haven't heard much other than it's possibly pilot error. They're saying one pilot that was observing it said that SWAT 4, nice. One pilot said the flaps were wrong.
Yeah, no, I've got the stream up on my second monitor, and
So one pilot said the flaps weren't deployed right, and then if the pilot, instead of trying to raise the landing gear, he was freaking out, and then he raised the flaps,
sometimes that happens.
then that's what it caused it. So he didn't have the flaps in the right position, and then if the pilot raised the flaps too soon, or tried whatever,
Trying to catch up in my little V.
at the moment they're saying they believe it's a pilot error, but
Getting distracted by
it's very, very sad.
Taiwanese mountain range. Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll know more later today. Yeah.
Veteran says the stream is fine.
okay.
I don't know. But
56 miles from the next.
so if it wasn't, if they're saying if it wasn't a pilot error, you know, the only other thing right off the bat they can think of without knowing anymore is, you know, some sort of electrical problem.
Come on, Dre. I'm glad I'm getting better at syncing airspeed with everyone. You know, formation flying is one of those things that looks easy until you try it. It's actually far more challenging.
Yeah, I know. With a co-pilot, I know. That's the first thing I thought too, is how with two pilots.
We have some absolute aces in the sim, don't we? People like Kaohsiung, Edarin, Wombat. You know, how they stick to you like glue is just amazing.
Well, CD doesn't. I'm listening to Allison in the Twitch channel.
The ones that really amaze me are the precision formation flying teams.
CD doesn't make it easy for any of us to get into formation with him.
Both in the real world.
As soon as he takes off, he doesn't circle the airport twice and let us all get up to the right altitude and get in line with him. If he would, then we would all be flying in formation with him. But
Off my wings here.
I hate saying he's inconsiderate, but he's inconsiderate.
Practice, Demonic Dragon. That's how you.
I have asked him. I've even submitted, hey, CD, why don't you let us take the time to get
The expression goes.
in formation with you?
Yeah, I can't see anything. I mean, I'm getting a few drop frames, but nothing.
You think it could have been a bird strike? I don't know. Sure seemed awful low the whole way. Like he couldn't get altitude. Like he couldn't, either way, to me it seemed incredibly shallow to start.
Looks fine.
It looked like he was having a power problem the whole way. That's so tragic. Oh, and that is one of the reasons why I'm such an advocate of the new technology coming out, the vertical takeoff and landing technology. You know, it may not fix everything, but it's going to stop.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
I'd say it'll end up stopping 90% of takeoff and landing problems
Okay. Yep, not going to change anything.
and crashes. No, I can't try that flight right now. I'm doing a, as you can see all these other people in the sky. I don't know
That's exactly what
if it's displaying on the screen right.
All right, so just.
I'm doing a community fly-in today, and I'm following the it's a large community flight.
Yeah, I still see you.
All those names up on the screen in front of me, those are all other
Hey, there we go. I see it. It just.
community members. Let me try to catch up with them a little bit more.
Okay, it looks like it started.
There's the major group here.
All right, let's go back over to Allison's POV. Is that any better, folks, or is that?
So
Before? I mean, it looked fine to me before as well when I was watching the stream. My secondary.
we're off. There's
On a different stream.
the guy hosting.
The way it works is I'm broadcasting to Twitch from my second computer. Allison is broadcasting to me, and then I rebroadcast that to Twitch. People saying it's still showing. I don't get it. It looks totally fine to me. Even like watching the Twitch broadcast, it looks fine. I don't see the choppiness that people are seeing. And in the server, it looks like you're broadcasting.
So now you can see a lot of the other planes a little bit better now.
She was here.
Just one of those things.
Yeah. Do you have the Twitch broadcast up on a second monitor, Allison? What does it look like to you?
Yeah, I see it, but mostly smooth. But every now and again, I see a stutter. There was
Sully
on my system.
that landed in the Hudson.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I can't remember.
Twitch has been having
The only one that's coming to mind right now is Sully.
I don't know if anyone saw, there was a major cloud service outage yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's still ongoing or not. I know it manifested itself, Cloudflare, it manifested itself in a variety of different ways.
But I thought Sully was in a field. I could be wrong. I don't remember now.
We would just say an unknown error has occurred. Try again later.
Never mind. We'll let Twitch do what Twitch is doing. Don't let it destroy the flight. So concentrating on any stuttering.
Yeah, no, I'm not worrying about it. It's fine. All right, 42 nautical miles to our next touch and go.
43.4. So actually, I've made up some time.
All right, Allison, you are in the hot seat today.
Oh, well, I had to be on my own, right?
Yeah, there's no random draw or anything. Well, you know what? We could do a random draw. Let's do this. Let's do it fair. Let's make it fair. I won't pick on you entirely.
I
Yeah,
don't mind.
No, I make it fair here. All right, I've got random.org up. All right, Allison, you can go first. Give me a number between 1 and 1,000.
66.
Okay, I'll say 966.
Oh, you've got
Oh.
1,000.
Yeah, all right. It's 827. Oh, I'm the winner.
Yeah, well, there we go.
All right. So I'm in the hot seat today. Fair enough. Chat, where are you from? I'm from Vancouver, Canada. Allison, you're from?
Newcastle, England.
All right. We got Otterbrunn, Bavaria, Sweden, Michigan,
Newcastle, England. I think Ben is from Newcastle.
Canada, Ontario, South Carolina, Austin, Texas, Alberta, Sweden. Oh, I can't pronounce that. Czech Republic, Sweden, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Berlin, France, Phoenix, Sydney, Amesbury, UK, Germany, Fort Irwin, California, Slovakia, Italy,
Slovakia.
City, San Francisco, Canada, Wisconsin, Rhode Island home of Flight Sim Expo 2025, Atlantic City, New Jersey. Oh, we got a viewer from Kaohsiung here.
Wow.
Carnage for today. Well,
That's probably
welcome.
why they have that popular food all the time.
Yeah.
It's great that
Isn't it?
Flight Simulator tracks everybody from around the world.
So easy on your CD.
They have. I love it when we have a
Well,
viewer from one of the places that we're.
So what game are you currently playing, Julie?
Muscle Shoals, Alabama.
Which one are you currently making videos of or live streaming?
Chat.
I just finished up Doom,
It's fine now.
the Dark Ages, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it.
Salisbury, UK.
Lovely down that end of
Kentucky. I'm Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Norfolk.
Just
Where is in Lancashire.
just looking at a few more photos of Kaohsiung when I was there. Remember I mentioned there's a major sort of shipping and industrial city.
Oh, I think Pachuli's gone.
I don't know the name of this building, but it's kind of like an interesting shape.
Well, thank you for stopping in. I've got
That's one of the very famous buildings.
somebody new to follow.
The shipping, the container terminals in the foreground there.
Oh, there you go.
I should have picked a faster plane, but this is what they recommended.
Architecture.
Yeah. There's another shot
I always seem to fall back behind the pack.
from a different angle.
No big deal. It's cool though. It's really nice seeing everybody. At least I can see their names.
The Lotus Pond, which I visited earlier. Here's
The visual draw distance on other aircrafts
around it, the Buddhist and Confucian
needs to be greatly improved. It's really hard to spot other aircraft.
tower. I showed you a photo of that, the two pagodas with the
And
dragon.
I don't know how real that is,
Oh, nice.
but it would be really nice to see them.
Sky Tower was the name of the that building.
Very good.
Anyway, let me look more around at the scenery than the other flyers. That is a pretty mountain range over there. Korea's been blowing me away. It's very, very pretty. Every place that I fly, I find beauty in everything. Even some of the most desolate places, there's still something beautiful about it. I wouldn't want to live there, but I can find beauty in everything. Lord, you created a beautiful planet. They sure are into their, I would say farming around here. Man.
Another cool photo again of the Dragon Temple, but from a different angle.
It looks like a giant quilt patchwork.
Very nice.
I'm trying to convince my friends to go to 2024. They won't do it. They're all real pilots. Well, Allison and I are both real pilots as well. I'm flying 2024 today. Allison, you're on 2020, but you also
am.
fly 2024.
I do.
Yeah. Well, I don't see why there's a reason why real pilots wouldn't want to switch to 2024.
I don't know why either. Just it's well, other than it's still kind of buggy, but I'm enjoying 2024. I do miss having some of the
American city Des Moines. Well, exactly like that.
some of the aircraft that I had in 2020. I missed that Dune ornithopter. It is a neat thing to fly.
Turning CTD 30 miles out. Moin moin. Die geht es dir heute?
Or like the
Yeah, he did indeed. Yes, sir.
seagulls in Funny Nemo. Mine.
Mine.
Yeah.
Obviously, moin moin is hello. It's a very. It surprised me because I lived in Germany for 5 years, and when I learned German, it was very high German, right? Guten Tag, auf Wiedersehen, and all that good stuff. I get there, and the first thing anyone does is zooms past me on their bike, going moin moin. I'm like, what? What the heck?
So I'm fluent in French as my second language. I learned French in school, but I learned like proper like dictionary French. I think where most people when they learn a second language they learn like the proper way to speak the language, which is not necessarily how people actually speak the language. So like I don't learn a lot of
Yeah, I definitely chose the wrong plane.
like you don't learn how people really
This was the first one they suggested for today's flight, though, so I just went with it.
So I don't know. Is that a good way to learn?
But I can't keep up with the pack.
For practicality, you'd think you'd want to learn how people actually use the language, not how they're quote unquote.
Trouble is there's so many different variations of language, right? I mean, go to France, right?
Yeah.
The French they speak in Paris is not the French they speak in Provence.
Mm-hmm.
In Germany, the German they speak in Bavaria is nothing like.
Hello, Bruno.
In Schleswig-Holstein, the German is different again. The only one I've not found too much of a difference is Swedish, because I speak Swedish as well as German and French.
Yeah.
The only thing about the Scandinavians is their accents and where they come from and how they then speak those words, because it's the dialect changes how it sounds, even though it's all in the same order.
So here's a question. I have a friend who is a native Spanish speaker, and I have another friend who...
Let me turn them down for a minute.
And they can each speak their first language and mostly understand what the other person is saying, because Spanish and Portuguese are similar enough.
Okay. I know that there is a setting in the Windows settings under your microphone, so I don't know that this could be the problem at all, Bruno, but after reading what you just posted, in Windows under sound, what is it? It is, here, let me type in sound. Under change system sounds, under recording, under the microphone, under properties, in advanced, there's a checkbox. There's two checkboxes at the bottom titled exclusive mode. And it allows applications to take exclusive control of this device. And all I was thinking is, if that is checked, possibly you say you set it, and then when you do something else and come back, it's overridden. And I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. That another application like Discord or something else could be overriding it. So that's what I would say. That I would look there first if that was happening to me, to make sure that nothing is overriding it and make sure that's not checked. Other than that, Bruno, I don't know.
$18 nautical out for me.
Oh yeah, I should check.
Mail more. A lot of people would go with English in Denmark.
So Bruno's saying when he changed his microphone input in the settings, and then you save your mic, but then when I come back, it gets messed up.
And I mean, strange because I can't do it, not because it's strange to the Danish. So it's very some of the words are very throaty. I just can't get my vocal cords around.
So I don't know if anyone saw, but yesterday we released a new partnership series video with Heart Aerospace, makers of the Heart ES30, which is upcoming. It's in prototype stage right now. Hybrid electric turboprop engine. So it has 4 engines. The 2 inboard engines are 100% battery-powered electric engines, 0 emission, and the 2 outboard engines are efficient, low-carbon emitting engines. So it can take off, fly, cruise, and land using only the 2 inboard electric engines with 0 carbon emissions for flights up to around 200 kilometers. And then if you want to go further than that, you can engage the 2 outboard engines as well, and it can go with low emissions up to 800 kilometers. So on our YouTube channel, you can watch a video of that where we interviewed some of the officials from Hart Aerospace, and they talk about their aircraft and their partnership with Microsoft Flight Simulator. And of course, they are a Swedish-based company. And so Allison, you mentioning this sort of jogged my memory. When Jane and I were reviewing the video and making sure that YouTube has auto-generated subtitles in English, the auto-generated subtitles were, because of their Swedish accents, was mistaking a few words for something else. For example, when they said the word hybrid electric, the YouTube algorithm detected that as hard electric. So we had to go in and manually change that. Now, also on the topic of recent developments this week, you may have seen, if you read yesterday's dev blog or follow us on social media, we have another partnership with Next Level Racing. And I'm sure some of you have seen their flight sim products before, but they just this week released the Next Level Racing Microsoft Flight Simulator Edition home cockpit, made in an official collaboration with the team here at Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Man, that'd be nice to be able to afford something like that. I saw a picture of it earlier. It's a full built-in rig with the foot, or I don't know if it comes with the foot pedals and all the stuff, but it's a seat with the rig set up for your monitors and for your foot pedals, and I just saw underneath that it was compatible with lots of different types of accessories or equipment, so I don't know, but it'd be great. I would love to have something like that. I mean, who wouldn't, right? I'd be happy just with foot pedals at the moment. That's my that's on my Christmas list for this year, is getting foot pedals. It'd be nice to have a yoke, but this joystick that I'm using is so sentimental at the moment. I want to keep using it until it just finally gives up the ghost. Yeah.
It has my collective attached to it.
Another thing I don't appreciate with Microsoft doing the fly-ins, I've asked them over and over, is
audio for that work properly.
Speaking of audio, that's just it.
On the stream.
It would be great if he would use official Microsoft music. Let me turn this down for a minute.
The audio didn't work. Okay, let me put a link to the chat then to that video. You can watch it again. As you saw the visuals, which is the most important part, that beautiful Next Level Racing Microsoft Flight Simulator Edition home cockpits.
Okay, so I've asked him, can you please use copyright music that, like, Microsoft, old Microsoft Flight Simulator music, or music that you can play in the background that doesn't cause a YouTube violation. So every week I get a notice that I can't monetize these simulcast streams because CD wants to use his music. And CD always like, well, I'm using copyrighted, I paid for the copyright to license all this music. And that's great. That's great. I'm glad that, but anybody else who's trying to simulcast the stream, none of us can, we all end up getting notifications from YouTube or our service that the music is copyright protected. And nobody gets any monetization for these particular activities. So it's a drag, and, but... well, I don't want to talk too bad about people, but we've asked him again and again, look, please get music we can all use and rebroadcast. That's not a problem. Or just don't. Right? There's enough going on. Got our little background engine noises, and we can hear you guys conversing, and that's all we really need. And nah, he doesn't ever listen.
Okay, I'm 3.5 miles out, runway in sight, lining up for final.
3.8.
You know, I'm still a little bit salty once I heard about this, that metric time never caught on. Extremist, extra points for America, I want one. Well, nextlevelracing.com, now available, shipping worldwide. I believe someone can confirm this, but I believe the price is $799 US, or various different local currency equivalents depending on where you live. But yeah, I'll put a link to the actual website where you can order one of those, available from retailers worldwide. As soon as I finish this landing.
Yeah, it sounds a little. That price sounds good, but that sounds like it doesn't come with any of the
They temporarily tried to switch to this, but
any of the stuff. But I'll have to double check.
Instead of having 24-hour days and 60-minute hours and 60-second minutes, you had a minute was 100 seconds, an hour was 100 minutes, and days, I think, were like 10 hours of AM, 10 hours of PM, something like that.
I can understand why it never caught on.
Yeah. People could switch, you know, weights and measures, but they couldn't switch their time, I guess. Too ingrained culturally. All right, short final for me now.
I do love having music. I love having music on flights. When I first started the Skydude live stream series, I was using paid for music too for the live streams. But then there was this little fine print at the bottom that said, it's only good for the live stream. So I'd like to punch that guy in the face every week.
All right, takeoff.
Yeah.
And I'm airborne once more.
So I had music, but again, then all of a sudden after the live stream's over and it's posted as an archive, then I would start getting copyright strikes. And every week I would have to file a complaint form saying, look, I licensed this music. And then they're like, well, you know, we only are licensing it to you for the live stream, and then after that, our musicians get to claim all your monetization. So it ended up being just a big scam, basically. You know, it's just not worth it. You wouldn't be allowed to have anybody watch your replays. And again, all of their artists then started claiming the rights on everything. So all of a sudden, all the music that you just paid for.
A bit more altitude this leg, don't we? Probably about 4,000.
Okay, I'll climb up to say 5,500.
They get to claim copyright, and they all get your monetization.
I really wanted to have some vacation time.
I've been begging Microsoft. I've been begging YouTube.
Relative time, it starts slow and gets faster every day.
Over the years for,
Ain't that the truth?
Radio channels.
As you get older, time seems to go faster, and I have a theory on why this is.
Yes. I've noticed it's getting very fast now. I'm getting very old.
Right. So say like a 5-year gap, for example. For me, like, I'm 45 now, so the time aging between 40 and 45 in absolute terms is the same amount of time as aging between 5 and 10. Still 5 years, right? But when you go from 5 to 10, you're literally doubling your age. And so, like, the total amount of time you've been alive is doubling, and so that seems like a long time. When you're going from 40 to 45, even though in absolute terms it's still the same amount of, numbers of hours, minutes, and seconds that elapsed, in terms of the percentage of your life up until that point, it's a much lower percentage. And so it seems that the time passes much faster as you get older. Yeah, Taylor says the exact same thing. When you're 5, 1 year is 20% of your life, but when you're 40, it's a lot less. Yeah.
I mean, you know, for me, it just at the moment, life is zooming past.
Here it is. Hold on, Bruno. We started out at RCKH.
Now, I do have, when we get to Taipei, I do have a payware add-on for Taipei for the scenery. So mine will
And
be different to some of yours if you don't have the add-on. But I'll point out some of the more famous landmarks.
let's see.
I might. I can't remember.
I think the one we just landed at was RCMQ.
Probably the most famous structure, famous landmark in Taipei, if not all of Taiwan, is the large...
And then the arrival airport is
It was, for a while, the largest building in the entire world.
RCSS.
Still be in the top 5.
It's a nice racetrack down there.
Overpassed by a few other buildings now. Burj Khalifa in Dubai, of course, being the #1 tallest building. Although I heard someone in chat maybe confirm this. I heard Saudi Arabia is building a structure that's going to be even taller than the Burj
That's ridiculous.
Khalifa.
That's ridiculous. Building buildings that tall, I think. Unless they got fire stations built right into the top, middle, and bottom.
I'm sure someone in chat will know that.
I think it's a disaster.
I think you're right. I vaguely recall it too, but
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Whoa, chat, look at this. Look at this scenery here.
Yes, it is pretty.
Got some beautiful mountains off to our sort of 2 o'clock position there in the distance.
yeah.
I'd like to go back a little bit more, back to 18. I think that'd be great. That's when I lived in Castle Rock, Colorado. All of my best friends before college. And then I would make some seriously different life changes, I think.
I always say this every time on Fly-In Friday, but no matter where we go, the world looks so beautiful from the air. Doesn't matter where in the world we're flying.
Ah, hello, Hex.
Oh, do you got
Oh, that-
Hex in
do
the
I
dark
not
star?
have- Well, he's in the Dark Bonanza. Have I not got the Dark Star? I must have it,
Part
surely.
of the Top Gun Maverick expansion.
Yeah, I had that. Oh no. Sorry, Hex.
Did you reinstall the sim at some point and forget to download it again?
Maybe. Maybe. He says he's fine, it's fine.
All right. Something else Taiwan is very famous for is the night markets. If you like food, if you like just walking around from stall to stall, trying all kinds of different dishes for very cheap prices, Taiwan is one of the top culinary destinations you could ever visit.
That sounds good.
Plus would recommend. I'll show you. This is not somewhere we're going today. This is on the outskirts of Taipei. You can take a train there, bus, maybe 45 minutes outside of Taipei. There's a port city called Keelung. It's spelled Keelung, and they have an amazing night market. I'll show you just a few of the photos from here. This is sort of the entrance to the night market. You can see every one of these is a food stall, and they're all serving a different dish, and it's all super cheap, like the equivalent of like $1 or $2 US to sample whatever it is they serve at these stalls.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
When you're out in Asia, it's just amazing.
Because I would reconsider, talking about changes that we would make, I would reconsider going to college.
Skewers or vegetable skewers.
I don't think it was, I honestly don't know that it was worth it.
Food. And yeah, look at that.
too expensive, and I just ended up partying too much, and
Very affordable.
you know,
Version on that.
I have to say, this is a weird thing to say.
The night market. You can see every one of
Let
these.
me turn this down for a minute.
Stall 41.
I was a professional before I went to college. So as a kid, I wanted to be a professional artist. And so by the time I was in high school, I was already trained by a lot of great people, and I was a professional commercial artist, already working. But everybody tells you, you know, you got to go to college, yada, yada, yada. And I went, and then, you know, I got it very, very expensive, and it didn't do anything for me. As a matter of fact, it kind of messed me up because I just ended up partying and probably doing a lot of things I shouldn't have done. But yeah, it just ended up being worthless. I think if I went back, I said, don't go to college. Just stay working, and heck, I might even completely go a different direction and join the military. Take up flying. I would definitely try to get into flying early. But yeah, I think I made a lot of really dumb choices. So it would be nice to redo all of those. Such a nice thing to think about. You would still not go to college, yeah.
So Austin, you said you've been to Taipei before, but not Kaohsiung.
Correct.
What are some of your memories of Taipei?
Definitely the food.
Yeah, it was it was just a giant expensive party. Really what it was.
Cleanliness.
Yeah, Allison's right.
Clean. As you say earlier, the people were super, super friendly.
If the food is clean,
Yeah.
I'd be down to trying it. But I see a lot of these videos of these people that cook in stalls, and it's like, ugh, ugh,
Different.
gross.
You know, I spent time in Shanghai,
This is a neat valley here.
and in many cases, it was easier to get into Shanghai than it was to Vegas one year.
Yeah, Farmer, I think I would totally
The cleanliness.
give the military a try
Some of the
if I had a second run.
But the fact that, you know, go anywhere near a store area in China and you're like swarmed by people who want to sell you stuff. But the,
Yeah.
you know, food is when I'm traveling, it's all about experiencing
At this age, to have the VA benefits,
by the company I worked for. They took us out every night.
not that I have any health problems really, but you know, it's one of those. Just all the little
a smaller group without all of the
little
directors coming along.
perks that can help.
One of the lads didn't really like vegetables, didn't really like fish, so he lost 2 belt sizes in a week.
Oh wow.
And one of the girls, so I said, you know, is there anywhere that
I don't know if I would have survived if we run the clock back.
said yes, and we went
You know, chances are
down a back alley,
definitely would have been
sort of hole in the
involved with Gulf War One,
guy from
and
Yeah.
probably a lot of the conflicts up to today.
German beer, Weiss
So I don't know that I would have survived.
Weiss beers, Dunkels in Steins, and the food was absolutely incredible.
My dad was Army.
Hadn't eaten very much, had 3 helpings of everything. So, but it was such a nice find.
I think I would have tried Navy or Air Force, you know, for wanting to fly.
Just going around.
I'm sure there's still aviation in Army, but
It's like a tiny,
you know, if you want to fly jets or anything like that, it's usually Air Force or Navy.
very, 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 very. I found China interesting, very interesting. Yeah. Didn't see any form of. You know, if you go out on a night in England, there are lots of rowdy people.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that in Asia that I've seen.
I mean, I guess it depends.
Yeah, I'll bet they are.
When I was in Japan, I certainly saw a lot of drunk Japanese people late at night. Again, I guess it's a little bit different than, say, like in the UK, where you might have drunk people late at night causing a lot of ruckus and making noise and being a disturbance, where I guess in Japan there still were people who were very drunk in public, but they were, I guess, much more subdued, not causing a scene.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that in Shanghai during my time, and it's not that it probably wasn't there, but where I was, I didn't see it. Shopping and food is and food is what, you know, it's all about experiencing, right? Same person who didn't really fancy the Asian food, he said, what are we doing to eat? And I said, oh, we'll find something. And he went, oh, there's a McDonald's across the road. I said, we've not flown 12 hours to go to bloody McDonald's on our first night, right? So, I said, so no.
Okay, Farmer, you have a great afternoon and a great evening. And if I don't see you this weekend, have a great weekend.
They served the burger at the restaurant.
Thanks for stopping in today.
So, well, at least it wasn't at McDonald's.
So I kind of agree, and...
Oh, you definitely know I deeply appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I will not fly
Thank you so much.
to McDonald's. I want to try the local cuisine. However, if I'm in the same place for an extended period, I do like going to the McDonald's there at least once, just to see how it differs. Because McDonald's all around the world is totally different. What you can get in... So I was in New Zealand 6 months ago, and I had the Kiwi Burger, which is you can only get it in New Zealand. By the way, it's not made of kiwi meat, if that's what you're wondering. It's just it's just kind of like a regular McDonald's hamburger, but it has like a slice of beet and an egg on it.
Well,
and of course, you can't get that anywhere else other than New Zealand. So that was kind of fun to try that.
Yeah, go to Paris, you can get beer.
Yeah. Skeeter says McDonald's in Germany is amazing. Okay, Skeeter, what does McDonald's in Germany have that's different from McDonald's elsewhere? By the way, on this subject,
McDonald's on the homeworld planet of the Klingon homeworld planet Kronos, it would be McGoch.
No.
McGoch.
so it's supposed to be
I'm replicating that.
purchasing power of different countries. And so it's normalized to US dollars, and it's how many US dollars it costs, or the equivalent to US dollars it costs, to buy one Big Mac in different countries around the world. Now, what's interesting, in India, they don't have a Big Mac. They don't eat beef there. They don't serve beef at McDonald's. So they have, instead of the Big Mac, their signature dish in Indian McDonald's is called the McMaharaja burger. And it's a vegetable patty.
Vegetable, yeah.
But it is still like the signature dish of McDonald's. So it's like the Big Mac equivalent of McDonald's in India. Anyway, a lot of people, like a lot of serious economists, have pointed out that the Big Mac index is actually like a pretty good economic indicator of purchasing power of different.
Well, that tells you how screwed up our economy is right now. What is it, like $5 for a Big Mac now?
Joke, but there's actually some.
I'm sure a lot of us remember, maybe not. But like Farmer here was in the chat room.
Breakfast the most.
We're old enough to remember that you could get a Big Mac, fries, and a drink for $1.
I mean,
it's our economy is so screwed up. I feel so bad. Well, I feel bad for us in general. Anybody living through this economy today, it's just, it's horrible. But I feel so bad for young people because one, they don't have any point of reference. They don't know how good it was in the past, and just the economic freedom that they don't have that we used to have.
I am about 34 miles out.
And the despair a lot of young people have today because, you know, they work so hard, and again, you get nothing for it. Living hand to mouth.
This is important. Got distracted for a sec. We got a visitor again, my favorite visitor on the channel, the hot air balloon. Going full horizontal.
Oh, they were on last time I was on as well.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Amazing. I can't tell you how much I love that. Yeah, going full horizontal so they can keep up.
Scramjet.
Air Force proud, eat your heart out.
I wish we could at least get back to a 1980s economy.
I saw the hot air balloon.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
We have to.
I'm now
At this point, it's unsustainable. I can't imagine
the balloon.
things continuing to increase in price now at this point. I don't know how
This is on the calendar.
we can do it at all. It's too much now. We're entering that hyperinflation,
Festival in the world, or at least one of the largest.
and
That week for Flying Friday, we're
they're
gonna
like, it never goes down. You can't ever go back. Well, that means we're going to collapse. If you can't ever go back,
confirm when the Albuquerque
then we're going to collapse.
I think it's September though.
There has to be a way to get your economy back in shape. It can't be just keep inflating your economy until it collapses every single time. I'm really sad of all these people in the government who don't also realize, and they're all old, but they're all secure now. And so they're in their own little bubble of they don't understand what the economy is, I guess. I don't know what our government's excuse is for doing this to us and for putting us in this position that we're in and then telling us that we can't go back. That's a crime against humanity. Screwing up an economy as bad as they've screwed ours up. I even remember I was young enough. I wasn't old enough to go there to gamble, but like our family they'd go to Vegas or whatever. $1.99 buffets, the best hospitality. Amazing that you could feed your whole family at a McDonald's for under $10. And that's like, hey, here's 4 hamburgers. You know, with everything. Here's the ice cream. Here's this. Here's that. Here's this. Christine and I think the last time we went, just got a few things. $20. I'm like, this bull. We're done. I don't ever want to go for fast food again at this point. I don't want everything. Everything makes me mad now. Absolutely everything.
Seeing what kind of aircraft people were choosing.
So it was I was
Oh, happy Father's Day to you.
presentation.
Yeah, on Sunday. Happy Father's Day.
Aircraft go past outside, and I had a quick look on Flight Radar, and it was one of those tandem gyrocopters, sort of like an extended version of Little Lenny.
Oh yeah.
You only live twice.
Yeah.
And I've never seen one of those on Flight Radar 24. Certainly not up here in Newcastle. Interesting.
Flying through some cloud right now, which in real life would get me in hot water as a VFR only rated pilot.
Oh, yeah, it would. To be honest, that's why I put high level clouds on today. So it's to set a British example.
There's that hot air balloon again.
Oh, very close there, Edwin.
All right, before I get too distracted once we get to Taipei, I mentioned that probably the most famous building in all of Taipei is Taipei 101, which for a while was the tallest building in the world.
Did you go up?
I did go up. It has interesting architecture too. It's designed to look like a multi-level pagoda.
Yes, yeah.
Let me see. I just gotta find a photo of it.
Then I don't have to fly the thing. I can look around. Just put it into autopilot.
All right, there's a relatively up-close view from street level. Here it is.
Yeah, it's very cool looking.
Yeah. Here it is from another angle. Okay, here we go. Here's a shot from further away. You can...
That's neat looking over there. Far out.
So, someone in chat, you can look up exactly how high Taipei 101 is and its current ranking among the world's top buildings. Now, when I did go to Taipei, there's a very famous sort of day hike you can do. It's called Elephant Mountain, and it is all over, Instagram, both locals and tourists alike. They got to get their selfie because you get one of the best views of Taipei 101 anywhere in the city. And there it is. There's my shot from the viewpoint, the lookout point of Elephant Mountain with the beautiful Taipei 101 in the background there.
Yeah, super nice.
And at nighttime, it's all lit up, brightly colored. Let me see if I got some shots of it. I'm sure I do.
What's 506 meters in old world language? What's that in feet?
Oh, I'm not even sure. Okay, oh, here's another cool photo of it. So I was there in December, and so it was all lit up in red and green for Christmas. Do I have a favorite Taiwan TV drama? Well, there was one that came out. Oh, what was it called? It had Michelle Yeoh in it. I know she's not Taiwanese, but it was set in Taipei. Anyone know what that was called? That came out not too long ago. It was set in LA and Taipei. I think it was on Netflix. Gotta look this up now.
1,661 feet. Thanks, Ulrich.
Oh, The Brother's Son. That's the name of the show, The Brother's Son. And here's the description from IMDb. Charles' son, a Taipei gangster who settled into his life as a ruthless killer, must go to Los Angeles to protect his mother and younger brother after his father is shot by a mysterious assassin. So yes, that is on Netflix.
Well, we're 11 miles away from the airfield. I can see it in the distance. And descending down into Taipei to have a look around. I don't know.
So, as you know or may not know, these are all take place starting at noon on Fridays. But my normal live stream Monday through Thursday is 1 p.m. And I'll be back on Monday at 1 p.m.
I mentioned earlier about bubble tea. This was in Taipei.
To get back to the career stuff.
It mostly looks like local people. This was the queue.
I'm currently in South Korea.
Can I zoom in? No.
The career has taken me all the way from Colorado
like
to the
certain
west
plans more than
coast,
others.
all the way up into Canada, through Alaska. We crossed over into Russia,
Isn't it? You're going the wrong way.
crossed down into China, and then crossed over into... Well, I fast-tracked over into Korea,
I found a hole in the wall.
and now I'm making my way south
Japanese restaurant in
down to Jeju Island, and then from there I'm not sure
full of Japanese locals.
where we're gonna go.
Place.
Well, speaking of Japanese restaurants, I was just right on cue. I was looking through my photos from Taipei. I found this one, which I thought was amusing. It's called Dog Japanese Restaurant. And I love their little logo, too.
Yeah.
Gross.
All right. Oh, I think I've got Taipei 101 in sight on my POV. I think.
I know in a lot of Asian countries they still eat dog,
Descending.
and
I don't know if I'll have it in my scenery though. So.
One of the cool features of Taipei 101, because this is in an earthquake zone, is there have what's called the tuned mast damper almost all the way up to the top of the building. It's just basically a giant, really heavy ball of metal that's suspended on like hydraulics. And if there is an earthquake, that'll actually prevent the building from collapsing. Really interesting feature. I see a comment from the Taipei Metro. Yeah, let me show you a photo of that. I'm just gonna find it here. For obvious reasons, I took this photo when I was taking the escalator down into the Taipei Metro. Here it is. Look at this photo, chat. I thought this was pretty neat when I was in Taipei to see this in the Metro.
Ah.
Advertisement for Microsoft Flight Simulator.
When were you out there then, CD?
I was there December of 2023.
Ah, very, very recently. Nice. I think I was over there in 2012, so long time difference.
All right, yes, I definitely have Taipei 101 in sight to my 12 o'clock. You can see it there. Over, by the way, if you look this way, this is New Taipei City, which is technically not Taipei. You know, it's just the adjacency built next to
it's
it.
too bad though that we don't got a lot of good satellite imagery for the photogrammetry on these buildings.
Yeah, I don't.
You know, we get the ground, but most all the buildings are
It's part of the
look to be procedurally generated, if that's the proper way to describe it.
Yeah, I wondered if I had. Quite a well-defined temple there.
It would be lovely to see the world. It sure would. But I'm glad that we have things like Microsoft Flight Simulator, and to me, at this point, with the technology that we have with this level of graphics, it's almost as good as being there.
Yeah, that's quite well defined, isn't it? Oh, never mind.
It's definitely been an eye-opener, and I know I want to say this a lot.
Already on a around-the-world flight, as you know, in a helicopter.
But when you start flying a lot in the simulator and start flying all over the world,
Kaohsiung,
you realize just how much open space there is still. Everybody's like, you know, population growth, and we're running out of space, and that's all BS.
Da Nang to.
It's funny, even Elon Musk said
And then we'll work our way
something similar. It was something sometime this year,
It's nice to come here and have a little look around.
and he was saying the same thing. He's like, people have no idea how much open space there still is on the planet.
Getting to see what it's going to look like.
All right, I'm gonna fly straight towards Taipei 101 here, since I do have the scenery add-on.
All right, I must get that. 'Cause I'll Google around.
One of the things when I went up Taipei 101, one of the things that impressed me the most was how fast the elevator was. Is by far the fastest elevator I've ever been on in my life. My ears popped.
That's lovely.
Yes, there it is. By the way, over here, this is the Elephant Mountain over here where I took that photo earlier, the very famous selfie spot. So did a kind of day hike up into these hills.
Yeah, it looks like a butterfly or something down there.
All right, there's Taipei 101.
Or something. Not sure what they're trying to draw there.
Yeah, that's good, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I have access to City Skylines this month, Xbox Game Pass, and they've got all the cool roads. Might be nice trying to build some nice
Indian restaurant
exchange like this. You can't do this in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Sim City. I've been playing Sim City.
And this building is also.
And you can't create
like on the 50th floor or something.
a lot of
Taipei 101, it looks a lot
interesting
lower.
Tiny.
Yeah.
on ramps, off ramps, things like this. And I don't know why they never put in better road tools. I'm sure that there were mods for it. It's just that. Yeah, it looks like we're here at the destination already. Time flies, as we do.
Then ahead to my 12 o'clock. This is Taipei Songshan Airport, one of two major airports serving the area. I did not fly in or out of this one. I think this is mostly for short haul flights, narrow body aircraft. All the sort of wide bodies flying transoceanic flights are from the other airport. So that was the one where I took off and landed. That's quite a ways away from here, though. It's like a 45-minute train ride into the city from that airport. There's a train line that runs past here. I didn't take the train. I did another hike while I was here up into these hills. Over here, I had a nice view of the airport.
Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall.
See Taipei 101 in the distance.
I wish I'd had more time to explore than a couple of days.
Well, you should go back. It was a fantastic city, highly recommended. Delicious food, super friendly people, very easy to get around. Affordable prices, too. Yeah.
All right. I'm at 3.6 final. Oh, we'll get a scenery pack though for Taipei. Good.
All right, I'll show you one other thing, one other POI before I make my way to the airport as well. I think this one showed up for you as well, also in that temple.
Yes, the golden one on my side here. Oh, the one in the city.
Yes, the one in...
Yeah, that's really cool. But there's a golden roofed building on the approach to the airfield as well.
Yeah, I believe, I might be wrong on this, I believe that's like one of the national museums.
Yeah.
I think that's called the National Palace Museum. Might be wrong on that. Someone can correct me if they know better.
Yeah, they definitely need a scenery pack for this place.
2-mile final. It's very striking that.
Lots of beautiful parks and green space all around Taipei as well, which I really enjoyed when I was there. All right, really quick, Alice, I'm going to cut back to my POV for a second.
Okay.
So Chad, look at this POI straight ahead to my 12 o'clock. Get a good image of this in your head, and I'll show you how this compares to the real thing. So we got sort of a monument in the center, then two sort of temples on either side. I believe one of those is a concert hall and one's an opera house. And then we have kind of this gate to enter the entire complex in the center. So take a look at this, chat.
I don't have the video for the live stream up. A video for the Twitch.
Okay, so I believe one of these is an opera house, one is a concert hall. And there's that gate.
Exactly as it looked when I flew over as well.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right, Allison's about to touch down, so we'll cut back.
I'm already down, mate.
Yeah.
Oh yes, you actually managed to. Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
That's cool. That Grand Hotel over there,
Right.
1 o'clock.
Here it is from the other side. Is the gate underflyable? I would say almost certainly not. All right, so Chad, you got a good image of what this looks like now. Let me just gain some altitude here so I can pull up some photos. There's the temple. This is what it looks like in real life. This is actually the monument to Chiang Kai-shek, very influential figure from the history of the area. And then here it is from the staircase of that monument. Looking the other way, there's like what I think were the concert hall and the opera house, and then the gate on the other side. So it looks pretty close in the sim, I would say. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, looks pretty accurate. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna make my way to the airport now for a touchdown. All right, and welcome to Taipei, everyone.
Indeed, welcome.
Kind of wish I was there again. I had such a lovely time when I visited Taipei. I think this building here is the central train station, if I remember correctly. So I took the train from the airport into the city.
Nice.
That's where I departed. And the hotel I stayed at was like right along here. I think it was one of these buildings, somewhere around here. All right, lining up on to final approach. Did I go to one of the Din Tai Fung restaurants? I did. That was my second night in Taipei. I went to Din Tai Fung. Those of you who don't know, that's a very famous.
I wish we had some emojis.
in Taipei.
We could wave to people.
In fact, a location in Vancouver just opened this spring, earlier this year, and it's kind of hard to get a seat there because it's so popular. But they're very famous. Their most sort of iconic dish is Yao Long Bao, which you may know as soup dumpling. You ever had that before? But they have lots of good food on the menu at Din Tai Fung.
Gate is not flyable. But, yeah.
Whoa, I didn't even know I had touched down. That landing was so smooth.
Very smooth.
I thought I was still airborne. It was just I had my nose wheel up. My main wheels were down. Oh, I get the hot air balloon again. Love it. All right, I'm going to park here. As always, I'll get out of the aircraft. We can walk around a bit. Here's virtual CD. Perfect 7 out of 5. A 5 out of 7 is the perfect score. All right, well, chat, we have arrived. Welcome to Taipei. Thanks for flying with us today. Great to have you with us. Next week on Flying Friday, we're going to Africa. We're visiting Kenya on Flying Friday next week. That one should
All right, cool.
fun. We always love to mix our locations around. We were in New York last week. We're in Asia this week, Africa next week. Go all around the world here on Flying Friday. Never fly in the same region, too much. Always like to mix it up. So hope everyone had a great time today.
Yeah, plane's a beast.
We'll be listening to Toto next week. Well, we don't want to get a copyright strike, but you can listen to.
Oh, you don't want a copyright strike.
All right, Allison, any final thoughts from you? And let people know what you got going on your channel. Let me put a link there as well.
Well, thank you again for inviting me. I always have a lovely time. The flight was nice. The plane flew good, so I shall try that one a little bit more often. Thanks to the guys in 2020 flying along and joining us. So always good to see that we're keeping people happy in both sims at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm streaming tomorrow my helicopter around the world tour, recreating Jennifer Murray's flight, and we are recreating day 26. I tried it last week, got a migraine, had to stop 3 hours into the flight, so I've got to do it again. So I hope if you want to come and join, 2 o'clock British Summer Time, 1300 Zulu tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Yeah, link in the chat there as well to Allison's Twitch channel. Go ahead, click that link, give her a follow if you aren't already doing so. Otherwise, folks, we're going to sign off here. Hope everyone had a great flight. Hope to see you again next week. Remember, check out that Next Level Racing Microsoft Flight Simulator Edition home cockpit. Just launched this week. I think that's a really cool product. We're very excited to be partnering with Next Level Racing to bring that to the market. So do check that out if you're if you're looking to shop and increase your immersion and realism of your home flights setup. nextlevelracing.com is where you can find that. Have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you for Flying Friday next week. Bye.
Thanks ever so much. Have a great weekend, everybody.
And another week in the bag, the box, the can. Nice flying. Good seeing everybody. I wonder why I'm seeing avatars like that guy. But I wasn't really seeing anybody, their avatars on the ground today. Wonder if that's another setting I have messed up somehow. Normally everybody kind of comes together into a big group photo kind of thing. But I haven't seen anybody walking around. That's probably my character detail setting or something like that. Who knows? All right. Well, again, thank you, as they said. And later tonight, Hey, there's Bruno. Hey, Bruno. How you doing? Oh, are you out? See, that's look. I can see Bruno. Maybe everybody just weren't getting out of their planes today. Nice. Looking mighty sporty. Oof. That's funny. That's cool. There's a collision on. Bruno was pushing me around with his wing. Yeah, it'll be great if they work on the animations a little bit more, and if we add some emojis, we can wave to each other. So later tonight, I'll be back to doing the Long Dark. I finally finished up Doom, the Dark Ages, and I loved it. I loved it. And if you're thinking, man, maybe I'm too old to play one of those games, one of the coolest things about Doom, the Dark Ages, is it doesn't just have a difficulty setting like, okay, hard, medium, or normal or easy. It has different variables. You can slow down the game speed. You can slow down the speed that the incoming enemy projectiles move at. There's a lot of little things you can tweak to find the right speed for you, to where it's still very challenging, but you don't feel like you're completely cheating. You can get it to where it's still very, very challenging. And I had a blast. And the upgrades you can get to your weapons, and the things you can get will make you uber if you don't rush through it and you get all the things you need to upgrade. And if you do, then definitely evens the score. You become an ultra badass with all the upgrades you can get in Doom Dark Ages. And then I'm playing the Long Dark, the survival game, and I'm at episode 4 now, and trying to get through that. And I'm not sure if they've released episode 5 yet, but that's the reason why I'm playing again. Is episode 5 should be out soon, or if not out already. And yeah, might do a little, if I have time, if I'm not too tired, might get a couple hours of SimCity in. Oh, and Christine's getting ready to pick up all the next month. She's going to be picking up all the new stuff for the latest Sims 4. And I haven't checked anything there out since For Rent. And that's always amazing to check out whatever they got new going on over there. So later in the month, back to Sims 4 for a little while. And of course, Monday through Thursday here at 1 p.m. I'm doing my normal Skydude live stream, and Fridays are of course these fly-ins. Anyway, folks, you have a great weekend, and please like and subscribe if you want to follow along with other things that I'm doing. Okay, take care. Cheers, Bruno. If I could wave to you, I would wave to you.